York. Wearing number 35, he's 6'9". He'll be going to Boston College next season. This is Blackwell. And the backcourt for New York, 5'11". He'll be attending St. John's next season. Number 14, Maurice Brown. On his way to University of Massachusetts, he's 6'6", number 32, Dingle. Number 31 for New York is 6'1". He'll be going to Drexel next year, Cornelius Overby. And on his way to Syracuse next season, 6'10", 33, Johnny Wallace. New York is coached by John Mathis, George Booker, and Nate Archibald.
Howard! 5, 6, New York!
And now for the Boston team. Number 14, he'll be at the University of Maine next season, 6'2", Casey Arena. Number 15 is a 6'5" forward. This is Jamal Jackson. At 6'6", number 23 is going to Champlain next year. This is Tim Ketter. In the Boston backcourt, he's 6 feet even, number 35, Hector Negron. And for Boston, number 32, on his way to Boston University, he's 6'8". This is Bevan Thomas, Jr. The Boston team is coached by Malcolm Wynn, Mike Rubin, and Abner Logan.
All right, we're just about set to go now. Abner Logan and Johnny Mathis having some final words with their two clubs. The Boston club, if you were with us yesterday, played like they had been together for a long time, and they have.
They really have, and even though most of these teams are only gotten together about a month before they participate in this event, Boston was very fortunate to have gathered together the first 6 players who have played AAU competition together, and they certainly have showed the teamwork of a team that's been together for quite a while. New York is faced with the really some disturbing problems of trying to put together a team here where 3 groups kind of control high school basketball on the off season and don't allow some of their players to participate in this thing as an independent group, and as a consequence, basketball is under the gun, and his team has truly only gotten together maybe a month before the tournament. So 2 different types of basketball teams, one that will function really as a true team, and this young man here leads this ball club with his outstanding point guard skills, penetration and passing ability, helps set up others, and Bevan Thomas was a real surprise to me yesterday. I didn't know he was as skillful as he was.
There are the officials, Barry Spears, Steve Ono, and Larry Waits. And we're just about set to go. Casey Arena sneaks in and steals the tap, and Boston will get a chance to draw first blood. Good cut by Bevan Thomas. Leans in with the hook shot now. Picked off the boards by Blackwell, and he gets it ahead to Dingle. Down in the corner. That's Overby with a little leaner. No. Offensive follow. Blackwell, no. Ripped over the top by Ketter. Off on the break is Bevan Thomas, who handles it pretty well, but a little too well right there. Double dribble is called.
Well, there is the center of the ball club who did a behind-the-back dribble. Was called for steps, but you don't see many centers trying to make that kind of move.
Now, Bevan's one of these kids who kind of exploded in terms of growth. He played a lot of guard. Started his high school career as a point guard. And all of a sudden ended up 6'8", found himself in the middle. And that is a touch that's going to get John Wallace a lot of points in the Big East.
That's going to be the big problem for the Boston contingent, stopping that low post game. That time they picked them to the spot.
Up strong with Jamal Jackson for the rebound, but then out of the pack comes Cornelius Overby, who gets away with a high dribble. Negron coming up with the steal. Overby coming up with the foul.
Boston wants to run, and I think that New York can play either style, running style and a half-court game because of Wallace, his ability on the box.
Casey Arena, good look inside, and Jackson's able to finish it off.
There you see what really produced some outstanding basketball. The passing ability of both of the Boston guards, Arena and Negron.
Wallace, yeah, tough pass, nice hands by Blackwell though. Ketter has to back it off. Jamal Jackson takes it strong.
Now Boston has a motion offense, and they all have outstanding outside shooting ability, so a lot of New York's defense going to be pinned on the perimeter with lots of gaps to drive.
Maurice Brown looking for his own shot, won't go down, loose underneath. Nice hands down there by Overby. Dingle with the drive, no. Wallace trying to keep it alive with Blackwell. Jump ball ultimately called, and the ball will come back to Boston on the alternating possession, or will it go the other way? Nope, goes to New York.
Well, Jamal Jackson is one of those guys, an odd-sized, slender-type kid, but boy, is he tough underneath the basket.
He's active. Casey Arena called with that foul a hold, his first and the first on the team.
Maurice Brown, who's the point guard for New York, is rather small and has tried to really score from the outside most of the time without an awful lot of penetration in yesterday's ball game.
Nice move by Dingle with the left hand. 6-4 New York by 2. Hector Negron gets his pocket picked. Maurice Brown ahead on the break. Arena there, but Brown gets 2.
Now that was great defense by New York. Their two guards have been bothering everybody in this tournament.
4 different players have scored for New York. They're up 4. Jamal Jackson just keeps on going. Throws it up a little too hard. Follow from Ketter won't go. Maurice Brown the rebound. John Wallace has got a touch, hasn't he, Tom?
Came all the way down from Rochester, New York to play for New York City, and Tiny Archibald. Here he makes a strong move to the right. They grab his jersey and his shooting hand free, and that great leaping ability of his is going to allow him to get over a lot of big players in the college ranks. So he's going to continue that type of scoring, I'm sure, at Syracuse.
He's a legitimate 6'9" himself. 5-1 advantage off the boards for New York.
Boston in the prior 2 games was outstanding off the boards.
Nice pick by Wallace. Gets it over to Brown. Brown. Both Blackwell and Wallace were there for the follow. A foul, though, was called on the drive.
But there's one thing we noticed yesterday about... Let's watch the steal.
Just about to mention what I think you're going to say. There's the pick right there by Wallace.
Yep, and all of a sudden off you go, and there's a big guy making that type of play, and here comes the little guy, Brown, and look at the white jerseys right there for the cleanup rebound.
But he had a wide open trailer.
Yep.
Coming down the middle.
Well, I say this about this young player here, Brown. Number one, we all kind of associate a smaller player with a penetrating dish type of situation. I'm not so sure that's the way he got here. I think he's been a scorer, and that's his mentality. Because we haven't seen him game that we saw yesterday make those type of plays.
Blackwell got a piece of Hector Negron, his shot, and a traveling violation is called as New York tried to start the fast break. So Boston catches a break and gets it back as Anthony Logan sees his kids down 7 here early. Make it 9.
And Boston had, in the prior games, gotten up early and by big margins.
Arena's shot won't go. There's Wallace for the rebound. Gets it to Brown. Ahead to Overby. He spins, puts it up a little too hard. Tip won't go from Blackwell, who had an open shot. Here's Negron on the break. Hector trying to dish it down the middle. Nobody was home. Overby. First two for Cornelius. Overby. All 5 of New York starters have scored, and they're up 15-4. And I wouldn't have figured this.
Well, they've got some real good basketball players. There's no question about it. Inside and out.
Jamal Jackson trying to spin one in, draws a foul from Blackwell.
Boston, who shot really well in this tournament so far, shot something like 52% yesterday in their win over Chicago. And Chicago was an exceptional basketball club with a super big guy.
I think goes Bevan Thomas to the bench early. Adrian Machado has checked in.
They have been rotating the big people of Boston to try and stay with big people of their opponents. But Bevan Thomas yesterday was the show, boy. He really did a job against
Rashad Griffin.
Rashad Griffin. Glad you remembered his name. You know how tough it is for me with names.
This Wallace, I would say, Tom, off watching him for 2 days, when you can't make any general statements on it, but it seems to me that 50% of the time Wallace shoots, he uses the glass, which you just don't see that many kids nowadays.
No, they turn around, but he, because of his leaping ability, always gets a good look at the basket.
Adrian Machado trying to take him outside. Coming away with the rebound is Dingle. Here comes Maurice Brown again. Up to Wallace. Nice dish right there. Partially blocked, though, by Machado, who got back in the play. Overby trying to keep it alive. Loose ball to Blackwell, who turns and shoots it. And we've got a foul.
Right now, New York is climbing all over the boards against Boston. And Boston, in one game, had 30, I think it was 32 offensive rebounds to 27 defensive rebounds. And they have been dominating on the boards, and they're getting practically shut out right now as New York leads 10-2 in the rebounds.
Here's Blackwell, who's headed for Boston College next year. Will play for Jim O'Brien.
New York did not play an inspired game yesterday against Atlanta. It was one of the poor played games I'd seen in this tournament in a long time. And Atlanta missed something like 28 foul shots.
Yep, that was ugly.
Or Atlanta could have been in this final.
Yeah. Atlanta gets bounced earlier today by Chicago. There's a block by Wallace.
Heads up play by both ball clubs.
Blackwell trying to find something underneath. Pretty good move. Won't go down for him. Picked off by a jumping Jamal Jackson. Arena just keeps on going. Sticks the jump shot.
Now they need to find a hot hand in order to get back into this thing, and he may just be that guy.
First player other than Jamal Jackson to score for Boston. Maurice Brown looking for a shot again. He never peeked at a pass, did he?
No, he never did. And I'll tell you this, he's going to have troubles in the Big East if that's all he's going to do, because he's too small.
Adna Logan's made a couple of changes, and he's got Shannon Bowman in the lineup, and Shannon is a wide body trying to solve that problem on the boards for Boston. Nice strong move, count the bucket, and Hector Negron is going to be called for the foul, jumping in late.
Well, Dingle is a lefty, and he wants to go to his left, and you got to force him to bring the ball back to you. And the Boston player just kind of made a basic mistake. Allowed Dingle to get 1 foot past his extended foot, and then you're done.
Especially at this level, Tom. If you're a lefty, that's a huge advantage.
Being a lefty at the high school level, they're not ready to understand that it's something different. You see so many right-handers. As the alley-oop play that Machado ends up tipping back in. That's their first offensive rebound of the ball game.
11-point New York lead, 21-20. Plays for John Wallace here. Although Blackwell takes the shot, misses from the corner. Negron on the break. Trying to get it to Casey Arena. Pass nearly picked off.
Overby did a great job that time and smelling out that play.
Arena can't get the jump shot to follow. And Arena trying to keep it alive. Finds Machado, but he stepped on the baseline.
Boston was shooting exceptionally well in all the prior games, and they are really just having trouble passing or hitting their open shots. And New York is really, for a team that hasn't been together long, has shown tremendous poise and confidence. And remember yesterday we talked about arrogance.
It's a great steal by Shannon Bowman. Jamal Jackson, nice dish, and Bowman gets two.
Now that's the type of teamwork that was evident in the last two ball games.
21-12. Lead cut to 9. Hector Negron is called on the reach, and it's not good news. That's 2 on Hector. In the game, won the three-point shooting contest earlier, and that's a travel on the spin move. Andrew should have just stopped and buried it from outside the line. Trying to show us his drives in there. Ron has to let Dingle go after making the bad pass.
Well, they're just up, and one of the ways to throw sand in a motion offense is overplay your man, and New York is doing that, and therefore Negron has not seen that type of thing before. A great pickoff here by Brown.
He gets 2.
Now that's something I thought would be very difficult to happen in this game because Negron has really been super with the dribble.
Loose underneath, picked off. McCall can't get it down. Follows his own miss. No. Wallace battles, tips it away, but it went off. Kolbasovsky out of bounds.
Well, New York's big people have been very active and very athletic, and the quickness of Boston is being matched in the big man department, and they had an advantage in all the other games with their quickness up front.
Foul called down on the baseline. Kolbasovsky picks it up, his first. So Nakia Brown and Maurice Brown are going to play together here. They kind of subbed for each other yesterday. Bevan Thomas, who has been quiet, can't get that one down, and there's Dingle all over the rebound. Maurice Brown the other way quickly to John Wallace, who travels with it, looking to make the move.
But up the other end of the court, Mike, excellent defense by New York as Thomas turned to look inside, figuring somebody was open, and everybody was covered on the baseline, up tight.
Double pump, and Bevan Thomas draws a foul underneath. And John Wallace is going to pick up his first. So Bevan Thomas, who had such a wonderful afternoon yesterday, looking to get himself in the book here today. Bevan with 30-plus points and about 15 rebounds and a couple of nifty assists in that game.
Led the fast break, and just against Griffith, the 7-footer for Chicago, who is a pretty good athlete himself, and but was out quick by Thomas, and Wallace is as quick as Bevan Thomas and an inch taller.
Thomas misses them both. New York's run off 9 straight to take a 25-12 lead. John Wallace, a touch. 7 points for John Wallace. McCall leaves it for Bevan Thomas, and he knocks down a jumper.
It's a 2. But the motion offense that was so productive for Boston is not functioning nearly as well against this very, very aggressive and tight New York defense.
Nice dish, John Wallace. Call for the travel as he made his move. Nifty pass by Dingle. John Wallace has been called for traveling last 2 times he's touched the basketball. Dingle goes to the New York bench. Danya Abrams comes in. He played a whale of a game in the 34. That's Mickey Curley you're looking at there. Younger brother of Billy Curley, who plays for Boston College. Olbasovsky with the block. Loose underneath. McCall trying to find a way, and he travels. 43 seconds to go here in the first quarter, and Boston still not able to get their act together.
They were really overpowering people underneath, and New York with their big people are taking up good position and not allowing Boston to make those cleanup rebound baskets.
And the foul is going to be on Danya Abrams, holding off, trying to get position.
I was informed today, yes, by the New York contingent that Dana does wear socks.
Right, I told you, those sneaky little guys.
Sneaky little golf socks.
Yeah.
They also tell me that Dana is a fullback in football.
Which is a scary thought if you're anywhere on the defense, because Dana is about 6'7" and about 280. Curley coming hard at Wallace, picks up the foul.
And Negron now has 3.
They gave it to Negron.
That's a tough situation for Boston, as he has been their prime playmaker.
I remind you, this copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Boston Shootout and is intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written permission of the Boston Shootout and Sports Channel is prohibited. John Wallace makes them both. And New York continues to cruise along up 15. Calls in, playing a little point guard now. Thomas. And Ketter's going to be called for the travel with 8 seconds to go.
Well, it's just traveling all over the place today. A little sign of being anxious.
Casey Arena with the near steal on Nakia Brown. That's going to go wide with 1 second left to play in the quarter. Nakia Brown with the steal, but couldn't get the shot off. All New York. All right, Arena's out there at the point guard spot right now. That's Thomas with the ball down in the corner. McCall's trying to post up underneath. Ketter and Jackson, the other 2 on the floor for Boston. Kolbasovsky, Dingle, Wallace, Abrams, and Nakia Brown. It's just not going down, as you can tell right now for the Boston club. 3 tips and finally pulled down. Quick outlet pass up to Kolbasovsky, who takes it in, throws it up, and an offensive foul is called on Andrew. Take a look, T.
Well, here's Arena, who makes a good pickup and gets in the way of the slower, bigger man and creates the foul situation.
John Wallace off the miss. Dingle. John Wallace. Nicely done, New York. 11 for John Wallace.
New York did not show that much in the fast break department yesterday against Atlanta, but they sure are today.
They sure are, is right. Here comes another one. Ron Flood's turn. Misses it. McCall misses from the corner. Flood comes out of there with the rebound. Oh. Dribble that one off his knee. Casey Arena comes back for 2.
Now, they were playing him for the pass all the way, and Wallace, leery of picking up a second foul, just bowed out of the picture.
John Wallace wants out of the game right now, signaling to the bench. Kolbasovsky. Jump hook is a little strong, and there's Abrams for 2. Not going to move Dana out.
I'll tell you, he was sitting there as the lone setback on that one, ready to take the ball from wherever was coming.
Jamal Jackson trying to create something. It's whacked on the way through. Foul will either go on Abrams or Flood. They give it to John Wallace. Okay. Now John has 2.
Now John has 2, and that may have been a tired foul, as Boston is trying to rotate their people and catch fire with somebody.
Nothing going right so far.
For a team that has shot so well in this tournament, they are having all kinds of shooting problems in this one.
Bowman able to track down the miss to give Boston another chance. Jackson strong to the hole, and he draws, could be the 3rd foul on John Wallace.
Well, that's a tough decision coming up now with 7:59 to go in the first half for Tiny Archibald. Do you leave Wallace in or take him out? And obviously he's going to the bench.
Boston only 2 for 6 at the free throw line. It's funny, the last trip up the court the other way, Tom, Wallace waved at the bench and said he wanted out. They didn't put anybody up at the scorer's table. He ended up committing 2 fouls in 1 trip down the other.
I'm getting out one way or the other, right?
Yes.
Boy, 2 for 8 right now, and this is what plagued Atlanta against New York yesterday. They missed 28 foul shots.
Kolbasovsky missing a 3. Jackson tracks down the rebound. Nakia Brown up on Casey Arena. There's the pass inside. Thomas will fake, count it, and a foul.
Now that's what they were doing very effectively against the bigger Chicago ball club, was showing them the ball, getting him to leap, and then getting the shot off and the foul. Here's Arena, who gives it over the top, and Kolbasovsky right there. It gets lifted with that 1 fake. But Wallace is the premier shot blocker on this New York team.
Kolbasovsky was given the foul. Boy, continue to struggle at the line after having a great game at the line yesterday.
Two for 9 from the foul line.
Give the bucket to Abrams on the tap.
Took the shot. Got the tip.
Travieso can't hit, looking for a 3. Casey Arena got away with a funny dribble right there. Bowman gets the finger roll down.
Well, he turned around and gave him a Kevin McHale little fake, and Dana got rooted.
Shannon Bowman. 35-20, 15-point game. Boston obviously would like to try to get this under 10 by the half. There's a grab. Bowman not letting Maurice Brown go by.
Well, there's one thing you got to do against a good dribbler, and that is don't react to the dribble. And as soon as you start trying to steal the ball from a dribbler, a good one, you're done. And Maurice Brown is an exceptionally fine dribbler.
Hector Negron is going to come back in and play with 3 personal fouls.
6 is the limit.
Partially blocked down there by Bevan Thomas. And looks like the foul is going to go against Torrance of New York, I believe. Abdul Torrance picks it up his first.
We really didn't see him play yesterday at all.
Nope. Fifth foul on New York, just 1 on Boston here. And we've only played 3.5 minutes of the second quarter. And Maurice Brown looking for travel he won't get. So Abdul Torrance picks up his 2nd foul, getting in the book quickly here. Dingle's going to come back in. Torrance goes out. And that is the 6th team foul in less than 4 minutes of this second quarter on New York. It'll still be Boston ball. Boy, they do swarm on you defensively, don't they?
Well, the play pattern left 3 guys close in. And as soon as the ball went in, it was a 1-step drop. And they dropped fast.
Travieso to inbound. Jamal Jackson in traffic. Nice look. Bevan Thomas all alone. He now has 6. It's a 13-point game.
That's the type of play they were making so effectively. But not today until just then.
Nakia Brown literally got swallowed up as he made a move to the hoop. And Travieso unable to handle the fast break pass.
Watch this great defensive play by Boston as they just took it completely away.
Jamal Jackson getting all of that as it went by. Abrams making his way through on the baseline. Keeps it alive underneath. Dana for 2.
Boy, he's just pulling his way through.
He did there, didn't he?
5 more yards.
He did there. Foul is going to be on Shannon Bowman, I believe, as he and Danya Abrams tied up.
Well, they've been playing physical basketball. This is sort of like Knicks, Boston Celtics, New York Knicks action, as they're trying to play a little physical. And Bowman just popped him in the chest with an elbow.
2:34. Nowhere for Maurice Brown to go. Loose ball. Travieso comes up with it.
Well, that was a good play. They forced Brown to his left.
Hector Negron. Underneath Bowman. Nice fake for 2. He froze the building with that fake. Maurice Brown finds a way. He's in double figures with 10. Wallace leads New York with 11. Bowman, right place, right time. Bevan Thomas. That's the way Bevan Thomas played yesterday. It's a 13-point game.
Boston's giving this very partisan crowd a little something to cheer about right now.
Overby's drive and a foul called. Bevan Thomas not believing the call, but I believe he picked it up. He did. His second. And we're going to get a timeout. 4:16 left to go here first half. New York by 13.
Win, win, win a boat free from Emily. Just enter the Emily
Fame in honor of Kenny Hudson, who founded this event, a friend of both yours and mine. And it will include all the signatures of the parade McDonald's All-Americans and 20 of the top prep phenom players in the shootout, such as Parade's All-American Randy Livingston, who has been a participant in this event for the last 2 years. So nice job by Kenny Hudson in a recognition of something that has aided basketball throughout the country and in the inner cities. And my man Kenny helped start it.
Kenny has done a great job. An average official who has done great work.
Yeah, I told you, he called a goaltend and a foul on Dave Cowens on the same play, which in my mind was an impossibility. It cost me $250 to express my opinion, however.
And I was listening to you two guys earlier, and you were arguing that call like it happened yesterday. Kenny remembered it distinctly.
He knew what I was talking about.
That's right.
Before I even mentioned the play, did he not?
He did. He knew exactly what you're talking about. How many years ago was the call?
Oh, about 15.
Hector Negron hoping he was going to get some sort of a call. He didn't get one. There's Kenny Hudson.
Old Kenny. And he has been involved with Coca-Cola for a long time, and he put the muscle of that organization behind this tournament and really has helped basketball develop in the Boston area.
Terrific guy, and Hector Negron just picked up his 4th foul, and that was a little bit of temper that caused that. Negron thought he had some sort of call coming his way under the basket. He didn't get it. Then he tried to strip Maurice Brown in the corner, and it didn't work.
And he picks up his 4th personal, and that'll put him on the bench as 6, and you're gone.
Hector had such a great game yesterday, 30+ points for Boston. Has not scored in the first half.
That was so fluid.
That's part of being a 16 or 17-year-old. You know, you get 30 one day and you get shut out.
That's it. You got it.
Bevan Thomas He'll go to the free throw line.
I think the Boston players now are getting kind of adjusted to what's going on inside and the potential shot blocking. And they're starting to throw more fakes, and they're starting to lean around people for their shots.
John Wallace not happy, but on the bench with 4 fouls. That, of course, a big break for Boston.
Well, the Boston point guard goes out, who was so effective, and a very, very big weapon for New York now will be on the bench for the last 3:21, I would assume.
Boston really continues to struggle at the free throw line. 3 of 11 shooting for Boston.
Hall of Famer, one of the greats of the game, and has devoted a great portion of his life to helping kids in the inner city with programs like this.
Largest lead of the afternoon, 48-29 here for New York. Boston team scored 120 and 119 points in their first 2 games. And now they've got 29 with a minute to go in the first half of this one. Tim Ketter is going to get himself to the free throw line. Ketter gets that one down. His first point.
Look at the free throw percentage of yesterday and today.
Ketter's just 1 of 2. Under a minute now to go here, first half.
And yesterday, Boston was 9 of 23 from three-point land. Today, they're 0 of 8.
Maurice Brown looking for a shot again. Abrams an offensive board. A couple of fakes.
That was a walk, but
they got a foul instead.
They got a foul. We were into walks for the first quarter.
Yeah, that was the call of the day in the first quarter, that's for sure.
This guy is not a leaper. And when you see a guy who's not a leaper in a game of basketball still effectively score inside, you know that he knows what he's doing.
7 points for Abrams.
And my favorite kind of players, I might add, Mike, those non-leaper types, because they take the leap away from you. They walk you off the ball while you're in the air, and you don't even know what's happening.
Got a nice touch.
Yeah, and he's got some moves. Good spin moves. Pass the ball.
Hiya. He's Ricky Mahorn revisited.
That's it.
He is. Casey Arena, nice little dribble move.
But those have been few and far between for Boston.
Maurice Brown looking to return the favor. Arena gets out defensively. Tip. Arena gets there for the loose ball. And if that's on Abrams, it'll be his second.
You know, and he's a provocateur, too. I mean, he goes in there and muscles people, and then you saw Bowman pop him in the chest, and he just delighted in the fact that Bowman got called for the foul. As we look at Rick Weitzman, right over the young man with the white Celtics hat. He's the chief scout for the Boston Celtics, and undoubtedly he coached the team here, Boston Shootout team, a few years back. So he's always had an active interest in what's happening in this tournament.
Lots of talk about the Celtics possibly trying to make a trade before Wednesday's draft. A couple of articles I saw in this morning's Boston papers had Sherman Douglas as the alleged bait.
Well, I'm sure they're trying to make Sherman Douglas the bait, but
nobody's biting.
Fish are not biting. Boy, they're just throwing bricks up there.
And Boston catches a break. They'll get it back with 8 seconds to play in the half. Admiral would like to see this half come to an end. And he will soon. Arena looking for a screen, gets one from Machado, and hits the 3.
That's 1 of 9 now from the three-point line, and they were on.
That's not going to get done for Boston, is what I'm trying to say. And they shot so well yesterday, but New York has put some defense on them. Missed 10 free throws. That also is a killer. And New York capitalizing on turnovers, 14-6. The points off the turnovers. Individual leaders for both sides. And it's Wallace with 11, but he's got 4 fouls. Maurice Brown with 10 and Overby 9. Arena with 10. Thomas with 9 and Jackson with 8. And we'll be back with second half action right after this. But they seem to have the chemistry that they had yesterday.
No, and you see Nate Archibald looking at that stat sheet, and one of the telling things in that stat sheet is Boston, who had 13 assists in the first half of yesterday's game, only has 8.
Quick foul called underneath to begin.
An off-tackle play by Dana.
Bevan Thomas picks up his 3rd. And Danya Abrams will be at the line.
A nice touch. You'd watch him shoot those free throws, and the ball, his pinky is in the air and his thumb down, and that's when you could tell a player's got a good release of the ball.
He's in double figures with 10, the 3rd New York player in double figures as New York extends their lead 52-36. Arena, pretty good look inside, and then Ketter couldn't get the shot up. Goes and gets it himself. Is stripped again. And Dingle comes up with a loose ball, and Ketter's going to be called for foul. Boston just still out of sync, Tom. I can't think of a better way to put it.
Trying to really get the ball inside on the box as low as possible. They did that time on a little pick, and then Ketter just lost the handle on it. And the frustration goes down with the clip foul. Football going on here.
Dingle trying to come with that left hand. Rebound taken down by Thomas. Gets it to Casey Arena.
Well, if they're going to make any hay, Boston, they got to do it now while Wallace is on the bench. And
Hector Negron just picked up his 5th foul. This has not been Hector's afternoon.
Well, he got a little anxious early in the first half and took this shot, went out to go get it, and then commits the foul right there, which will be his 5th, and he will retreat to the bench. Very unhappy gentleman.
Amazing. 32 points yesterday, scoreless today.
What Boston was doing so effectively in the prior games has been taken away from them with the good defense of New York. And then plays like this on the inside as Boston defense was pinned on the perimeter.
Abrams now the game's high scorer. Casey Arena trying to claim it was touched by a New York player. The officials say no. And New York is in danger of making a real laugher out of this one.
That last play, Mike, was indicative of what's going on as they try to loosen up that overplay defense of New York with a backdoor cut, and New York was right there with the backdoor cut.
Blackwell's long with the jump shot. Travieso, the weak side rebound. His pass is picked off. Maurice Brown throws it up, but Dingle misses the dunk. Travieso comes down with that one. Ketter along the baseline. First basket for Tim Ketter in the game.
And they call a momentary timeout as they want the basket to be realigned up the New York end of the court.
Maurice Brown, the smallest man on the court, doing the honors. Well, again, looking for a shot. Won't get out for him. Blackwell trying to keep the rebound alive, and it goes off his hands out of bounds. Casey Arena directing the traffic with Hector Negron on the bench. And pass is thrown away. Dingle for 2.
That was too long a pass from one side of the court to the other, and very active feet got Dingle out into the passing lane as they have completely thrown sand in the motion offense of Boston.
Spins into the lane. Travieso gets the roll on a 3.
Boston now has to play some defense in order to get back into this thing. New York very, very poised, and they're going the right places.
And that's a travel. Danya Abrams almost pulled that off. Going off tackle. Travieso tries again. Short this time. Abrams there for the rebound.
Well, I mean, he cleared that whole territory out for that rebound.
Dingle comes up shooting and knocks down a 3. He's in double figures with 11.
Well, Boston is jamming the boards with 3-4 people at times, and if they don't get the putback, off goes New York on a fast break opportunity.
Arena can't get it down. There's Blackwell and Dingle combining on the rebound. Near steal by Travieso. It'll be New York ball. Nakia Brown is going to check into the backcourt for New York. And it'll be Maurice Brown who goes out.
Boston has 18 turnovers to New York's 12.
Blackwell misses the jump shot. Ketter the rebound. Arena nearly a turnover. Pass a little tough to handle, but a nice move by Jackson underneath. But Blackwell comes down with the rebound, strips, gets it back. Finds Overby in the middle to Dingle. Dingle takes it in.
There they were again. 3 guys jamming the boards, and once they lost possession, the 3 Boston big guys just stood there.
Arena can't hit. Another rebound for Blackwell. Blackwell very quietly has done a nice job on the boards. Abrams has it stripped by Arena in traffic. Arena with a stop and start move. Travieso a lot of time. Makes the 3. 6 now for Camelo. But it's still a 17-point New York lead.
Boston's got to play better defense right now to get back into this thing and at least get up on people getting uncontested layups and uncontested jump shots. So New York very much in control of this ball game, not just score-wise, but psychologically they are totally confident.
Jackson leans in for 2. That's 10 points for Jamal Jackson. He and Casey Arena, the only 2 Boston players in double figures. 4 New York players are already there. Overby has 9. Blackwell has 7. Good balance for tiny basketball club. Dingle in a little trouble, finds Nakia Brown. Nakia Brown forces one up, hard off the glass. Arena the rebound. Foul call. Jackson was just not to be denied on the baseline there. The New York defender never bit for a moment on any of his fakes. Knew he was going to try to drive, and he got the foul anyway, making the drive.
It's been a great experience. We're happy.
All right, Ken. Always a pleasure to see you. We'll see you at Shootout number 21 next year. Mike, Tommy?
All right, well, thanks very much. And great job done by Kenny Hudson. 94 Shootout alums have played in the NBA. 37 active last season. Reggie Lewis, who was here earlier, one of the many. All right, Tom, let me ask you, does Boston have a run in them, or are we just playing the string out here?
Well, Atlanta put a good full-court press on New York in yesterday's game and climbed back into it. But I thought perhaps Boston would come out here the second half with a pressure-type defense, but they didn't. And as a consequence, it's been more of the same as New York has controlled the tempo. They've controlled the flow of the game as to where they want to go, and their defense has dictated what's been happening. They have been really good defensively in taking away the passing game, the motion game of the Boston offense, and that has produced some difficult shots for Boston players.
Blackwell got lucky as that pass was tipped out to Flood. And Arena with the quick hands. Here's Jackson on the break. Jackson's going to take it. Thomas to follow, and he gets fouled.
Well, there is the anxiousness of Boston to score as they had a 3-on-2 situation. And That's what happens in games like this. All of a sudden, the teamwork breaks down a little bit. But that should have been at least 2 points. There you go. And look at what's happening in Boston's offense yesterday to today.
63-9.
Yep.
Amazing.
That's a hurting coach right now, saying, where did my offense go? These guys were very productive. The outside shooting of Boston was exceptional. It's not there today, and you got to give credit to New York, who's up pinned on the perimeter with the good outside shooters, and yet playing denied defense on every cut to the ball.
Blackwell, pretty good bounce pass, and the reverse layup goes down for Ron Flood. Bowman's shot. They're going to count it. 8 points now for Shannon Bowman off the bench.
Well, Boston is in the backcourt now, playing man-to-man pressure type defense. And immediately they counter New York with Maurice Brown, another ball handler.
Ketter Brown, the quick push. Blackwell can't get it down. It's gobbled up by Jamal Jackson. .315 left to go here in the third. Thomas has it knocked away out of bounds. It'll still be Boston's ball with 12 seconds on the shot clock.
New York players are really well schooled in as soon as somebody gets into the paint, boy, surrounding that ball.
Inside pass. Count it for Jackson. Ron Flood picks up the foul. And Boston making a little noise here. They can get this down to a 10-point game if Jackson can make a free throw.
I want to tell you one thing. Flood right here may have opened the gate, the Flood gate, as he has been all thumbs in his appearances today. Young player.
He's had a rough day, the junior.
But on the bench. And Danya Abrams crouched down in front of him is Wallace, the big inside player who was responsible for the big lead that New York enjoyed.
Boston with numbers on the break here. Travieso pulls up, misses it. And Danya Abrams called for a foul that I didn't see.
But Travieso had a 4-on-2 situation. Let's take a look at it. See if we can see what's going on. And there's the little high school nudge. We're used to seeing bigger nudges than those.
Jackson misses an attempted 3 outside. Ball comes back to New York. That could have been a big trip for Boston. Would have got them.
But that's not Jackson's type of shot, Mike.
No, I know. It would have been within 10, though. First time in a long time.
And there's steps. Mike, a little pressure defense in the backcourt. That's what we saw. And why we thought that the guards of Boston would be better than the New York guards, because they weren't handling the pressure that well yesterday.
Casey Arena with his 12th point. And it's 65-56.
Here's Casey Arena, and he gets into the paint. They surround him, but his little fall away works beautifully. But notice how well New York players angle you off the basket. That was really good defense, even though Arena made that shot.
Ketter Brown was called for a push-off on the inbounds play, so Boston gets the ball back. Into Bowman. Follow. Oh, Thomas twice, no. Arena playing tough, gets 2.
Just hanging around there as they're jamming the boards.
7-point game. Danya Abrams to Overby, back to Abrams for 2.
Boy, he had his feet taken out. He should have gone to the line.
I thought so. 14 for Abrams. 9-point game. 2:02 to go in the third. And that's travel. Jackson a little anxious.
Well, you better learn control at this level or you never learn it. And he was super emotional that time, Jackson.
Wow.
Wow is right.
That's your point guard. Maurice Brown with a dozen. Jamal Jackson never looking at the ball, and Maurice Brown does Boston a favor.
And right now, the little emotion of this mini comeback by Boston has gotten this crowd, which is certainly a Boston crowd, into it.
It's an 11-point game with a minute and a half to play in the third. Travieso. Arena. The double pump won't go down. Arena comes hard, but couldn't control it down the baseline.
You ought to be looking inside a little bit. They were doing so well. Here's Arena, who was forced to take a tough shot, and then right in there underneath. Can't control the rebound.
And Jackson able to come up with the loose ball and call a timeout. Heads up play by Jamal Jackson with 1:06 to go in the third as Boston continues.
Taking root right here in Boston.
Did the trick. Got a long NBA career. A steal by Dingle. Arena gets the loose ball. Travieso buries a three.
Well, he has been hot and cold with that three-point shooting, but they certainly need that kind of shot right now as Boston is going back to the pressure defense.
Maurice Brown. 2-on-1 break. Bounce pass. Thomas. Nicely done by Casey Arena.
And the defender split the two Boston players beautifully, and Arena just slipped it under the outstretched hands of Overby.
6-point game, 71-65. Wallace back in. Arena the steal. Gets it ahead. Travieso tipped in by Bevan Thomas, who has come alive now at 17. 4-point game. Overby shot goes down.
I tell you, New York has a tremendous amount of poise. As Atlanta was throwing this type of pressure on them yesterday, they took it and they floundered for quite a while, and all of a sudden they just calmed down under the direction of Tiny Archibald and did what they had to do.
Arena with the left hand couldn't get it down. Fights underneath for the rebound without much luck against John Wallace. Blackwell for two.
That's what you got to do against pressure defense. And of course, Boston has not played super amount of players, as Negron is coming off the bench right now with his 5 personals.
6 players have scored between 11 and 14 points for New York Tron. That's amazing.
Yep.
That is balance.
And Arena will go to the bench, take a little bit of a blow, and Negron comes along, and Arena had 10 assists while he's been in this thing, and Boston has made a bid and must continue to up-tempo their defense.
All right, let's see what Hector Negron can do after the great game he had yesterday. Bowman blocked by Wallace. Ball is loose. Oh, nice. Can't do that.
No, you can't punch the ball. He could have slapped it, but you can't punch it. He punched it like a volleyball. Well, I'm going to watch the punch right now. Yep, didn't get over the net, but
Hector Negron taking it right to the hoop and draws a foul.
He's a nifty little driver, and he's just slithery enough to be able to come up with some stuff going strong to the basket. That's what they need. Slashing type of moves right now. One dribble drives as Arena is about to come back into this ball game after a brief rest.
First point for Hector, who had 32 yesterday. Travieso will sit down. Carmelo had 3 threes in the game. Negron makes both free throws. It's a 6-point game, 75-69. Blackwell's been handling the ball a lot in the middle. Goes and gets his own miss and puts it back in.
Now, once they got to buy the trap part of the Boston defense, that was a great move.
It just comes up short. Tip won't go. Loose underneath out of the pack. Dingle. Nice move. Overby. Too hard. Good follow, though. Blackwell right spot.
And they have righted the ship once again, New York.
Blackwell has turned into the New York high scorer with 15 points. Negron for 3.
That was a weapon. It was muzzled here this afternoon.
Boston players going for the steal. Maurice Brown shoots it. Blackwell inside to Wallace. He's stripped, but the right man is Dingle. He's got 15. Hector Negron has it blocked. Follow won't go from Bowman, but they might have Wallace. I think they do for a foul. And it's number 5 on John Wallace.
And Negron was surrounded by 4 white jerseys. He thought he deserved to get to the line, but watch what happens on the play. As there's a hand on his waist, and boy, they just cut him off at the pass. And he said, what? No whistle? I get my ponytail dirty on this play.
It'll be Bevan Thomas at the line. Bevan has come alive, 17 and 10.
Well, he showed a bevy of skills yesterday, where he could handle the ball and shoot from outside and pass it. Today, it's not quite as evident.
But a solid effort nonetheless. 7-point game. Blackwell. It's been hot.
Well, they better go out and get him because he is destroying whatever pressure Boston's been able to muster right now.
Bevan Thomas, good look inside for Bowman, but he can't get the layup down. Loose. Bowman gets it back. And Maurice Brown will be called for the foul. That's Brown's first foul. 6 minutes and 30 seconds left in the game.
Now look at Robert Blackwell. You're going to have to say that Boston College has got quite a basketball player coming in. You can hit that medium range shot, rebound, at 17 points and 15 rebounds.
Yeah. Does it without a lot of fanfare, too.
And you keep thinking that Wallace is the entire show inside, and you can see that Abrams has been very productive, as well as Blackwell and Dingle.
Blackwell coming up with the loose ball there to Maurice Brown. Pretty good bounce pass. Overby with his 13th point. New York with some daylight again, but count that one. Bevan Thomas continues to try to bring Boston back on his wide shoulders.
They are really much more aggressive now, going to the basket on a made hoop. They inbound it quickly, and up the court they go. And the tempo of this game, the way New York had wanted to be played, has been broken, at least in a temporary way.
22 for Bevan Thomas. Casey Arena comes up with a steal. Bounce pass to Jackson.
Watch out. And this little guy will have to do the job of distributing the ball. Instead, he goes to the old leaner.
14 points for Maurice Brown. Casey Arena just keeps going.
Nobody stepped in his way.
Overby, no rebound. comes Hector Negron. Behind the back, Negron all the way.
Slashing type moves by Negron and Arena and others right now.
Danya Abrams in the right spot. He's got 16. Arena along with the three. Thomas the offensive board. Wants to take it. Finger roll. That's a nice little step there.
Arena should not have taken that three. Take it to the hoop right now. They'll get to the line.
4-point game with 4:40 to go. And New York wants a timeout. Boston crowd is really into it. Stick around.
You know, I see myself in you having all these dreams about becoming a professional athlete. I mean, what if you don't make it in the NBA? What you gonna do then? You don't know? Well, now's the time to think about it. If I have any advice for all of you here, it's just that don't put all your hopes into one basket. You know, make sure that you have other goals. For every one of me, there are hundreds that are just waiting to get this one chance that I have. So you just have to make sure that you have something to fall back on.
This summer, when it gets really hot, Dunkin' Donuts suggests you cool off with a cup of coffee. Iced coffee, that is. It's the coolest thing around. It's Dunkin' Donuts' world-famous coffee served ice cold. So if you want to chill out on a hot day, come to Dunkin' Donuts. But hurry, because you'll get 32 ounces of iced coffee in this great quart zipper at this great price.
It's very cool.
In trying to make an artistic statement, one should be careful not to let one's personal aroma do the talking. In order not to offend the critics, I recommend Right Guard Sport Stick. It provides maximum protection and the freshest scents, a sublime palette of odoriferous emanations. After all, a true artiste should be remembered for his inspiration, not his perspiration. Right Guard Sport Stick. Anything less would be uncivilized.
Yo, Sinbad here with the Blacktop shoe. I got my boys here from the International Committee. I got Schwinn and Schwinn. I'm trying to get the outside game a part of the summer games here in Barcelona, right? Tell me you don't love this game. Look at this game. Somebody give my man a monster slam. 360 months. You got to give me Reebok Blacktop shoe. I mean, you can't beat this. This is made for the outdoor game.
How do you pick the team, though?
How you pick your teams? You call game.
I got game.
No. I got game.
I got game.
No, I got game. No, you ain't gonna never get a game.
Introducing the new line of Blacktop shoes.
So, we definitely going to Barcelona this summer?
I remember I was coached first by Tiny Archibald. He coached me, and it was like an honor, playing for him. And I was real excited. And we got the team up. It was like a quick team. We got together, so we didn't know each other well. But when we went down, I remember coming in third, played in the Boston Garden, and I scored a lot of points that whole weekend. I had a great time.
Kenny Anderson, short little trip there. 4 years ago in the shootout. Going into the second year of the pros.
Left Georgia Tech early and became one of the lottery picks.
There's Danya Abrams sneaking away to become the high scorer for New York with 18.
And incidentally happened to have caused Bill Fitch to lose his job, as Bill Fitch did not want Anderson.
Nice block there by Robert Blackwell.
There's the block coming up.
Ron trying to get out of trouble. 4 on the shot clock. I don't know if he realizes it. He didn't. And there, an example of the 24-second clock that these kids are not really used to playing with.
They're all hoping someday they will, though.
Maurice Brown trying to force one up. Casey Arena comes up with it. Boston with big-time numbers here. A blocking foul is called. Negron went to the hoop with abandon.
All right. You go right away. You need help? Need help?
Well, right now, Boston trying to run, get those easy hoops. And there is over the top. That was one of those, whether it was a charge or a block, that was close to either or. And from on top, you're going to see it.
Whoops.
And whoops. That could have gone the other way.
Yeah, that Dingle did a real good job of getting his feet set there. So Hector stays alive and makes a free throw.
And Hector's all pumped up because he spent a great portion of this game on the bench for Boston, saddled with personals.
Very popular player in the Boston area here, too. Abrams. Oh, just snuck in, got his own rebounds, and put it down.
Boy, you just somehow don't equate gracefulness with him, and he's just turning it on against some of these Boston players who are now becoming believers.
New York high scorer now with 20 points. Gets the dribble back. Thomas trying to find a way. Traveling is called.
A little pick and roll play, if it's in their repertoire, would be a good idea.
And that's going to be an offensive foul on Dingle.
Once again, they advanced the ball over the top of the Boston defense and had a pretty good opportunity to score easily inside, but here's the charge.
3:14 left to play here in the game, and it's a two-possession game at the moment, 93-87. Tim Ketter has come back in.
Well, some of Boston's big guys are pretty tired from this pressure defense.
Green got swallowed up. Ketter, though, came up with the loose ball. Back to Thomas. Oh, pretty good move. Didn't get down for him. Here comes Overby. Negron's got them all. Overby, the pull-up off the glass. 15 for Overby. Jamal Jackson trying to create something, and the ball goes out of bounds off Abrams, I guess they say, and Abner Logan wants to grab a timeout. 2 minutes and 43 seconds are left here in the 1992 Boston Shootout final, and New York right now with an 8-point lead, 95-87. Canadian football is back here on Sports Channel this summer. We'll cover over 20 games this year, including the 80th Grey Cup Championship. So get ready for the CFL on Sports Channel. It's coming your way this summer. Doug Flutie, now a member of the Calgary Stampeders, and you'll get to see him play as the CFL is on Sports Channel.
You look at the Boston lineup right now. The biggest thing they got to do is attack the basket and attack the guards. But the big people, once if they advance the ball, New York advances the ball, is get up the court and make sure they don't get layups. And right now, Tiny Archibald is telling his New York guys, let's get somebody in the middle against this pressure defense, turn, look up the court, and attack the basket, get layups. So really going to be a matter of who's going to hustle the hardest coming down this last 2:43, because pressure defense, if it's run properly, means you really got to hustle at both from one end of the court to the other. And Archibald saying, play smart, don't throw it away, and take it to the hoop if you can.
And that was not a mistake on that graphic you saw up there a moment ago. Boston has 6 fouls to give. Not been whistled for a foul in the fourth quarter. New York, meanwhile, is over the limit. And Travieso will find himself at the free throw line as Cornelius Overby gives his second foul.
You know, that's the funny thing, Mike. Here's Boston that you think is gambling on defense and slashing and everything else, and they've got so many fouls to give. The more aggressive you are, sometimes the officials let you become aggressive.
Boston really picking it up at the free throw line here in the second half. Travieso now in double figures with 10 as Abner Logan looks on. Fourth Boston player in double figures. Maurice Brown, and traveling is called.
There it is, and boy, they just rotated beautifully, and Brown had actually, I thought, stepped on the out-of-bounds line before he gave it to Abrams.
Hector Negron lets one fly.
Wow.
12 points for Negron, a steal. Travieso. That was for a tie. Maurice Brown, the loose ball. Wallace for 2.
Little anxiousness there by Travieso to take that 3. But boy, Brown just got the ball and found Wallace up the other end.
Hector Negron wants to shoot it. He does. Rebound to John Wallace.
Well, you got to be taking it to the basket right now, but of course these are high school kids, and we're talking about years of experience, and they just don't have it.
Overby, nice bounce pass, and the foul is going to go on Bevan Thomas.
That's what you got to do. There is that poise. Just take it to the hoop, make the back line of the defense move. Watch now, a little fake. And the back line moves, and there's the nice lay down pass, and up to the line you go. That's what you got to do in these type of situations, both ends of the court. Boston ought to be doing that, and New York certainly is doing it.
1 minute, 31 seconds left to go.
I wonder how many yards he had running last year.
Hey, this kid is
he's a finesse player.
He's going somewhere big time to play basketball on the next level. Again, sometimes they fib a little bit in these numbers, but I don't think they are in this case. 6'8" and 270, just a junior. Not only has a nice touch, but has a real nice head for the game.
Sure does.
Travieso misses the 3. Jackson trying to keep it alive. Does. Bevan Thomas steps back and makes it. It's a 2. He didn't get back as far as he wanted. It's 98-94. And again, Boston can gamble here and try for a steal. They have fouls to give. Negron doesn't. He wants some help out on Maurice Brown. Wallace misses the dunk.
But New York will get a new 24 seconds. And
Boston still has 3 fouls to give here. They can give him before the shot.
If they're playing the 24, the rule, the NBA rule, the next one ought to put them on the line.
Fouls in the last 2 minutes. Right. Wallace wants it. Oh, it's picked off by Thomas. What a bad pass by Brown.
Sure was.
Here's Arena down 4. Leaves it for Travieso. Fakes the 3. Takes it in. And he'll go to the line.
Now that's really a great play by Travieso, who's more inclined to just hang around that 3-point stripe and fire away. Here he has thoughts about it, but they were right there waiting for him. And in he goes. And this is as good an opportunity right now, putting him on the free throw line to shoot 2 as he would have if he'd taken the 3. Of course, the percentages right now, Travieso should hit both these foul shots.
'98, 95. 35 seconds to play. 2-point game. No need to foul. Just going to play some D. Whoa!
Now that's going to add to the lure of the Boston Garden. It hit a nail probably. Watch this. He just went over the top. How many times you hear that this thing floor causes problems?
Hector Negron takes it in. No rebound. Tough one. Yes! Jamal Jackson. We are tied at 98.
What a comeback. 20 points down, Boston was, 61-41, and here we are tied.
Dingle. Traveled. It'll be Boston ball with 10 seconds to go.
Now, Boston has 3 good guards.
Arena better hurry. Goes to the hoop. Won't get it. Wallace the rebound. Brown doesn't get it off. Overtime.
Wow.
We will go to overtime in the final of the Boston Shootout. Stick around.
Drive. It's what every Olympic athlete needs to win the gold. Now, you too can win at the Jeep and Eagle National Drive for the Gold sale. Save up to $29.75 on a rugged Jeep Cherokee. Get an Eagle Summit wagon with air at no charge and $500 cash back. Or save up to $900 on a classic Jeep Wrangler. So hurry to the National Drive for the Gold sale and experience the thrill of saving.
Get the advantage at your New England Jeep and Eagle dealer now.
You know, I don't claim to be an automotive engineer, but the people who are tell me what today's cars and trucks really need is a high-quality gas additive, one that will keep my fuel injection system clean and my valves unclogged. All grades of Citgo gasoline have this top-quality additive, so that tells me as long as I fill up at Citgo, my truck gets what it needs.
They're off and on their way. I love the thrills. They care if you have a good time here.
It's like a country resort near home.
The Rock's got a winning style.
This 4th of July, let Rockingham heat up your weekend with the $150,000 Rockingham Budweiser Breeders' Cup, one of New England's best turf races, post time 1 p.m.
As proud sponsors of Sale Boston 92, your New England Pontiac dealers invite you to discover Pontiac in their new Sale Boston Edition Grand Am. Equipped with air, automatic, stereo cassette, cruise control, and more. Plus, at no extra charge, special striping, rear deck spoiler, and Sale Boston graphics. Buy the Grand Am Special Edition now and save over $2,000 in finance charges alone with 3.9% 48-month financing. See your New England Pontiac dealer now and receive a tall ship Sprint absolutely free.
We are back, and we're headed for overtime, a 3-minute overtime here at the Boston Shootout.
And here's the basket that Jamal Jackson was right in the right spot, and that tied it up.
All right, Boston will have 1 timeout in this overtime. New York will have 2. Fouls, of course, carry over, so Boston still with some fouls to give here. They can give 3 before they put New York at the free throw line. Jackson's going to jump it up against John Wallace. And it is controlled. And out of bounds Arena, the last to touch it. It'll be New York ball. Well, Casey Arena has really given it up in the second half. Boston scored 36 points in the first half. They scored 38 points in the fourth quarter. It's the last time a shootout went to overtime. A long time ago. Oh, it's a long 5. Negron, the steal, throws it in. And pretty heads-up play there by Overby. He's kind of cut off Arena trying to get to it. 2:53 to go in overtime. No damage yet. Because nobody had control of that, they never reset the shot clock, so New York is already at 10. And that one is picked off by Jamal Jackson.
Well, they're trying to go to their main man, Wallace, and Boston was alert to that. They fronted him and forced the lob pass over the top.
Negron, dish inside. Whoa, call.
I That's a tough one not to end up on the line, but I'll tell you, he got to take him down and then some.
Wow. I mean, there was a meeting of bodies under there.
And he was shooting, too.
Dingle. Travieso thought he had a lot of ball. I think he had a little bit of Dingle's arm, too.
We have a Boston foul on Carmelo Travieso.
Well, if you're going to press, you're going to press with small people. Negron now with 5 personals has to watch himself. And but the big guys of Boston have to get back and protect. Travieso, in essence, was the quick forward trying to help out in the pressure defense. Now, needless to say, they're going to have troubles with this thing, the pressure defense, until they get a couple of layups. And gets the bounce.
He sure did get the bounce on that one, didn't he? John Wallace, who is a high scorer, is now the low scorer for this New York club. As Dingle is 1 of 2, has got 16. Blackwell 17. Overby 15. Abrams 21. That shot is long and picked off by Dingle underneath. Thomas trying to give him trouble.
Well, that is not a good idea to take that shot. I've said it twice, 3 times already. Go to the basket like these guys are right now. There you go.
Overby. He now has 17.
Plenty of time. You don't need 3-point shots. Even though it's been part of their arsenal, they have not gotten a free 3-point look the whole ball game.
Won't go off the glass from Negron. There's Jamal Jackson active again. And the foul is going to go, I believe, on Overby. Overby will be his 3rd. And Jamal Jackson goes to the free throw line.
You know, one of the things that happens when you start driving to the basket is it allows you to your bigger people to rebound better, because the back line of the other team's defense starts to move to try and cut off the penetration. So you don't actually have to make the drive. You create a good opportunity for a missed rebound of a shot. So that's what you got to do. And I think Boston right now, those 3-point opportunities, this is not the place for them.
101-99. Boston has taken a timeout. 1:37 left to go here in overtime at the 1992 Boston Shootout Championship game. Boston coming all the way back from 11-point 4th quarter deficit at down 20 at one time. Tune into Sports Channel for some exciting boxing in the coming weeks on Sports Channel's Pro Boxing Tour. Each week we present the best bouts and the toughest fighters from all around the country. Watch the Pro Boxing Tour tomorrow night at 9 o'clock on Sports Channel.
Well, Mike, I'd have to say Tiny Archibald is probably very displeased. You heard him at halftime talk about, hey, we got to pick it up and you got to try and bury them, and they didn't. And they got themselves a ball game right now, but their composure, and I must once again say, New York basketball players have a belief that they are the elite of the basketball world at this level. They come in and they feel pretty cocky. And they are showing they've got some poise. They're doing what you're supposed to do under these situations, take it to the basket. They handle the press very nicely.
Boston still with a couple of fouls to give here, but out of timeouts as you start from that last graphic.
Well, and they've got Negron playing Abrams, which is a real mismatch. Now that is a shot, believe it or not, it goes in. They never acknowledged the mismatch situation that was going to put at least Abrams at the line.
Jackson, no. Tip, no. Rebound, Wallace loose. He's got it. Gets it ahead. Too far, though, for Danya Abrams. And with under a minute to go, Boston gets it back, trailing by 4.
Believe it or not, New York now has more turnovers than Boston, 28-22.
Thomas, nice spin move. Oh, the layup just won't fall for him. Battle underneath for the loose ball. Arena has done that a few times in this game. Back to Negron. Misses the three. Bevan Thomas spins. Partially blocked by Wallace. And Danya Abrams has it slapped away out of bounds, and they say he was the last to touch it.
Well, I couldn't see it. I was blocked out by the official, but this guy is spreading out and taking up a lot of room on the defensive boards. Getting no help, though.
Tiny Archibald is very amused by that call. Oh, yeah, Thomas underneath, then he finds it.
Wow. Nobody got to him, and he was absolutely open underneath the basket.
28 points for Bevan Thomas, 2-point game. Boston's got to give a foul here, though. John Wallace takes it. No, rebound, loose. Negron's got it.
Got to do it quickly.
Gets it ahead. Jackson to the bucket. No, tip out of bounds. That's the game. And New York, in overtime, has won the Boston Shootout. A wild finish here at the Boston Garden. Abner Logan tells his team to huddle around. But New York has captured the shootout title. Ended the jinx on this Garden floor for New York teams. And New York goes away as champion. 103-101. We'll be back in just a minute.
Win, win, win a boat free from Emily. Just enter the Emily Floataway giveaway and a winner be.
Emily's Floataway giveaway is really something to sing about. You could win an inflatable beach boat, a big 6.5-footer complete with oars and pump. And your chances of winning are really great because there's a winner in every store.
To enter the Emily Floataway giveaway, hurry in today.
See your participating Emily Motor Oil dealers for details.
You know, a football field is no place to be without the right equipment. Neither is a highway. And that's why you'd be mighty smart to drive a Chevy S10 Blazer. It comes with ABS brakes as standard equipment. And right now, you can drive one for less, thanks to Chevy Smart Lease. If you need a little more incentive, just think of what you could save. How about a hug?
No hugging.
See your neighborhood Chevy dealer today.
Remember when every song on the radio was your favorite? Oldies 103 FM. We're making you feel good all over again.